Live. Ladies and gentlemen, WUKAR, John Lavenia in the house with an all-star cast today of Mr. Christian Henneke, the mighty Matt Trainer, someone you've never met before, who I only recently met, Professor John Taylor out of the Netherlands via the UK, the wonderful Tarlise, and we've got something moving around there. Is that Tony Rush? And who's that behind Tony Rush? That looks like a guy I know, another WUKAR member, Jonathan Case. Welcome, everybody. We're going to have a brief briefing, a broadcast, whatever we're going to call this update today for all of us, for the members, for the business builders, the people who are here right now, frankly, kicking so much ass, fulfilling the intention of the name of this group, right? We are WUKARing, we are doing it, and people are taking note, okay? People outside of our group, people who are concerned, with what is this new phenomenon that they're observing here, this WUKAR thing, and of course our affiliation with DubLi, who are looking for ways to derail, I'll just put it that way, to derail some of the enthusiasm, the momentum, the success that we're all having, some of us for the first time ever. Okay, so we're going to address that here today. We're going to do it briefly, and just to not for the reason that you want to go and refute or defend or engage in pissing matches online. Definitely don't do that. That's counterproductive. Okay, and I'll tell you a little story about why that's counterproductive and why not engaging that is a very profitable thing. But just for your own edification here today, so you're empowered, so you know that here's the real data. Here's what's really happening, and why you can feel with no doubt, with no counterintention, just go out there and keep crushing it. Okay, so we wanted to do this and put this panel together. People who know a lot more than me, right? I'm a sales guy, I'm a marketer, I'm a philosopher, okay? But there are other people like you're about to meet who are, they know a lot about international business, finance, multinational companies, what really happens. Okay, these aren't anonymous bloggers, who got a bug up their ass and who want to be an armchair quarterback and tell you what you should think. So that being said, why don't we go right to the head of this whole operation, the guy who flew me out to San Diego a few weeks ago to bless me with this wonderful blessing of timing, Mr. Matt Trainer. How are you, buddy? And what do you know about DubLi and this whole affiliation that we're doing here? Is this a good thing?
Well, yeah.
There it is. Who's next today? Who's next?
Yeah, I mean, I've invested everything into this, and I did a lot of my own, digging into the DubLi myself when I first looked at it, and I saw stuff I didn't like, but then I got the privilege of meeting with Michael Hansen, the CEO, directly, and I have a very strong background financially. I've managed very large amounts of money in my lifetime, and I've made a lot of money in the stock market. I've developed over the years probably 30 or 40 very high-powered automated trading systems. One I sold to a very large bank in Saudi Arabia. One I sold to another bank in Central America for a whole lot of money. And all told, those automated trading systems have made $25 billion collectively. So I know what I'm talking about. And I looked into this stuff, and I saw some of the same things that people brought up, and I was kind of like, whoa, this doesn't sound right. But I was able to meet with Michael Hansen, the CEO, and he answered every single question I had very well, and he was not uncomfortable. I'm pretty good at reading people, and he had very solid answers. And really it boils down to the fact that they made a dumb move early on and started this reverse auction thing that's got them a lot of heat in the beginning. And fortunately, they changed their mind and they went into cash back. And they haven't stated any earnings since they switched to that model, basically, and they're about to. So once they file their new filings, all this stuff's going to go away anyway. So I have zero worry. Plus, we got people like Blas Moros, top 5 guy at Microsoft, who's on the chairman of the board of the company. Guy's a billionaire. You think he did his own due diligence, putting his name on there? I would think so. So after all of that stuff, I'm more than convinced. Not only did I drop an 8-figure business to focus on this 100%, I've also invested over $2 million of my own money into this whole thing just to help the team out. So I wouldn't do that if I wasn't extremely comfortable with what we've got going on there. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Matt. And so, of course, we're talking about how some people are saying, well, look at these SEC filings or lack of filings or delayed, or I mean, again, this isn't my bag. But people will use whatever they can to say, oh, look, here's why what you're doing may be wrong or something. Let's go to somebody who I've just made friends with yesterday. We just met yesterday. Here's a guy who's behind the scenes who you may not know because he is behind the scenes some of the stuff that he's done, but he's heavily connected not only in the online marketing world, but in the European Union and whatever happens with multinational companies over there and stuff like that. Professor John Taylor, what do you make of all this? Obviously you've done, and when I say due diligence, that you've done due diligence, I mean real due diligence, not like some anonymous blogger says they did due diligence. They don't even have access to the kind of information you have. Just tell us whatever you can without breaching security, NDAs and what have you.
Okay, well, good evening to everybody. My name's John Taylor. I'm a professor for the Center of Distance Learning in Antwerp, and I teach business and marketing. I was an early adopter of pop-ups in 2001, and I used to make 20 million euros a pop every time I did a pop-up. So that's what I did, and that's where I come from. And I've worked with trust offices in Luxembourg. I've worked with Swiss banks for years. We've done acquisitions. We work with some Dutch multinationals, which, if we told you who they are, which we can't because we're under NDA, you would recognize them because they're all over the world. And we're talking to them about DubLi. I have an NDA with someone who's on here right now, which is Matt. So there are certain things about what's happening on the internet which we're just not going to disclose, as simple as that. I also have an NDA with Michael, and I've spoken to Michael, the CEO of DubLi, yesterday on the telephone, and it was a very pleasant conversation. Now, we had somebody who used to work for Goldman Sachs, who works closely with us, with trust office business in the European Union. Check out DubLi, inside and out. And what I've heard and just got yesterday, I mean last night was quite late, I've looked into it today. Behind this whiteboard here, there's the lawyer standing here called Nicole, and she's a corporate compliance lawyer, and she's listening to the whole conversation because she has to. A couple of documents popped up from bloggers that they've posted on the net about filings, which is all public information, which falls outside of NDAs. Anyone can get hold of it. It means nothing, because in fact, the document which people are actually mentioning is about a holding company which is a subsidiary to the company DubLi, and has nothing to do with what we're doing. So why this is all a problem, we don't understand it. If you actually look at international business like we do, if a taxman or an authority, which to us is just another company, wants us to file at a certain time, and they rattle their sabers online and make documents to say, we are going to kill you if you don't file, that is what it is. It's a letter saying, if you don't file, we're going to kill you. Well, believe you me, in a couple of weeks, there will be a filing done. On time, because they're not over time yet. And as Matt so rightly said, that's the case. And it doesn't make any difference about what any authority wants to shout about or publish online about any company at all. And this happens 1 million times a day to 1 million companies. This kind of letter gets sent to them saying, if you don't file on time because you haven't filed when we wanted you to, because we're the authorities, therefore you should do what we say because we're a gang. Well, some of us don't listen to those kind of people, and we do things when we want to do, and we're just as arrogant as Michael is. We file stuff when we damn well want to. So there you go. And we file on time, and sometimes 25 minutes before they come and kill our wives. Well, that's a game. So there you go. That's all I've got to say about that. If I can help you with anything else, I will. But this thing's been turned inside out. And one thing I'd like to close on is the conversation which Matt has had with Michael, and I've had conversations with the head of the membership program, as it was. We're more concentrating on big business and on the corporate side of things. These guys are not there for to go and close the company next week. Believe me. So that's it. Anything else?
Thank you, Professor John. You know, I look at this stuff, and again, I draw a blank because it's just not my bag. But between you and Matt and the other people who are behind the scenes and under non-disclosure and stuff with this, people that, like, as Matt already mentioned, big high finance kind of multinational deals. So that's just, for me, that's just a confidence booster. Again, as a guy on the street, as a guy in the field, and assisting people and leading the charge and building this thing and capturing the timing that we have now, it's good to know that there are people who know the other side of the business, right? So thank you for that. Professor John Taylor, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to give a shout out to Taylor, excuse me, Taylor West, who's not able to be here with us right now, but did want to make a point of mentioning that all of this is, again, just for your own edification. You don't want to engage in pissing matches on the internet. Okay, this is all just for your own, confidence and knowingness. One of those people also who knows a lot of stuff is our own Christian Henneke, who, as a lot of people know, has been involved in online marketing and in a variety of companies over the last few years. And he's also gotten an earful from some of the people in his core group about attacks coming from outside, third-party sources who would like to derail Christian and his members because they've got an agenda around that. Christian, would you like to address any of these rumorings that are going on about how DubLi's evil and doesn't pay people or something?
Yeah, I can get into that. Thanks for having me on today. So just a couple quick things. There have been emails and Facebook posts and things being made talking about DubLi and how it's a scam, and talking about how they don't pay their members, they don't pay cash back, and it's patently absurd. But since that's been getting thrown around, we thought we'd mention this real quick on here. So here's the rest of that story, guys. There are a lot of commercial users, a lot of resellers, and I love resellers. I've done reselling myself on eBay and Amazon. I have a lot of friends that do extremely well, even right now, doing that. Love those guys. There's been a couple things that are severely overstated, and the whole picture has not been painted. Here's what's going on. These resellers, these eBay and Amazon folks, pushed the limits and broke the rules. And DubLi's terms of service clearly states it's not for commercial use. So when you have a VIP membership, you cannot run a business out of a VIP membership. And that's what was going on a big scale this past, most of this year, I guess. So there's partial truth when people say DubLi's not paying. Well, they're not paying the VIP level cash back to these commercial users. They're paying the commercial level cash back. So people are being paid, and we have lots of examples of that among my friends. And then the idea that that we're a scam or something like that, it's just I think it's mudslinging, or it's an attempt at that, and I almost hate to dignify it with a response, but I think that's why we're here, and it's so ridiculous. But yeah, we're getting cash back, and everybody is, and it's mainstream. That's what I've been telling people the last couple of weeks. This is the first thing I've seen that, in all my years of marketing and sales and stuff, I have not had the privilege of working with something that's not only socially acceptable, but it's socially desirable even. It's a whole different world. It's a a lot of fun to do. So I think I covered my bit there.
Yeah, good stuff. So from the viability of the cashback program, from that standpoint, yeah, if you abide by the terms and conditions, the terms of service, as a private user of that product, then you get the cash back as designated. If you want to break the rules, well, DubLi's not going to stand by and say, well, you broke the rules, so let's just give you all the money anyway. That's what I'm hearing, Christian. Is that am I on the right track with that?
Yep, that's right. The bottom line.
Yeah, so if I want to go right now and buy 100 units of iPads and then resell them and do that through DubLi. They're probably not going to give me the cash back on that because that's a breach of. Okay, very good. So fair enough. Now, on the other side, you mentioned not only socially acceptable but desirable. One of the main things, guys, which caused me to put my attention on this, as dazzling as I see Matt and what he can do with SEO, and as much credibility as guys like Professor John and Christian and a lot of other people behind the scenes. As great as all that is, the thing that got me was the fact that we don't need to build a big MLM deal with 1 million people on AutoShip. This is so customer-centric, right? So think about that. This is, everybody says yes, which is, of course, Tarlise is going to address this here in a minute, but this is a big departure from anything that we're accustomed to. If you're a builder like myself, you're what's called a builder here in DubLi. If you're a networker, a salesperson, an organization builder, a team builder, whatever you want to call it, this is a big, big shift. Okay, and it's a refreshing one. Okay, so on that note, let me cover the last piece of quandary that people have thrown in our face, and that is, does this company have a compliance department? Well, let me just show you something right here. Can I show you something? Let me. Right. Oh, Professor John got tickled by that one. Okay, great. You guys see on my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. So this is a website called DubLiNetwork.com, and Joe Public can come here and scroll to the bottom and see right here terms and conditions, which addresses what Christian was just talking about, policies and procedures, which addresses the other issue of does this company have a compliance department? I mean, after all, this company isn't screaming about you can't make income claims. Oh my goodness, right? So I think a lot of the people who are attempting to sling mud, saying we've got a compliance department and you don't, okay, that's because they base their whole business on income claims and the comp plan. Okay, therefore they are heavily watched by their corporation or the company or whoever the headmasters are of the compliance, because they're out running their mouth about the comp plan and look at how much money I made. I don't know about you guys, or Tony and Christian and Tarlise, because we're obviously in the field building this. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't said one word about the comp plan or how much money I've made. I've mentioned in a couple of private conversations, here's my stats, look at this. I showed a couple of people, what's going on just with me, just in a personal conversation with a friend. But nobody has pitched this because of look at how much money we're making. Therefore, we don't have compliance issues like that. And from the MLM standpoint, and what Christian was mentioning with the customer appeal, we are currently somewhere between 300 and 400 customers to distributors or BAs or whatever it's called here in DubLi, right? Whereas most network marketing companies have a compliance department that is nervous about such statistics because they're so distributor heavy. We are customer heavy and we're just getting started. Okay? So Joe Public comes here, clicks policies and procedures, can download the document, which includes things like income claims, refund policies, all the stuff that every person, every attorney general, every Federal Trade Commission person likes to know is in place. Okay, so now I will say this also before I shut up and pass it the microphone, is that I had a compliance issue completely unrelated to income claims and such, things like that. It had to do with my ignorant use of a third-party trademark. I mean, we're talking big business, guys. This is billion and multi-billion-dollar companies. I'm not just talking about DubLi here. All the partner companies, all the affiliated companies involved. I said something a little bit loose with my mouth, and next thing you know, compliance was on with me like white on rice. Okay, so yes, there is a compliance department. I apologized, and we're all friends again. Okay, so this is big business. This isn't Mickey Mouse compliance departments here. Okay, this is for real. So let me pass it over to Tarlise, because I know Tarlise, you've got and that's it. We've addressed all that needs to be addressed as far as every bit of negative PR that people can even find to throw at us. Oh, look at what this anonymous blogger said. You guys are the SEC. So, all right, all that's handled. let's get back to work. Tarlise, you are crushing it on this interweb, what is it, Instagram, the Instagram thing. My wife set me up with an Instagram account because of your training. I don't even know how to log in, okay? But you're apparently doing something with Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest and whatever, attracting customers, business reps. What are you doing over there?
Yeah, so John, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay, so, we were talking about this really quick before we started recording, and I was saying, guys, I'm bringing in TLAs, I'm bringing in customers, I'm bringing in team members, and here's why. Guys, what I want to get across is DubLi, just like you said, this is mainstream. There's an airplane going above. This is mainstream. This is really easy to market. Don't feel like you have to say, we're making this much money. I mean, I was just telling John, I've never put my link on my wall. I've never even said DubLi once. I'm about to hit sales director, which is a pretty good position, and it's all from attraction marketing. Guys, take all this stuff we've been talking about, take all this negative, oh, DubLi, and, make it a well-known thing, because everyone knows I'm in DubLi. Everyone sees I'm in DubLi. They see who I'm associated with, but I haven't publicly said it. So if everyone's talking about it already, why don't I, while the eyes are on my account, while people are waiting for me to say, oh, guys, DubLi didn't work, instead I'm putting stuff online like, wow, I now have a global business. Wow, it's Labor Day. I'm leveraging off of, sales, and I'm leveraging off of the current events. I'm leveraging off of back to school. Guys, Christmas is just coming. Take all that chatter about DubLi and, make it a positive thing. And I was just telling John, I just signed up my newest TLA, so that's coming in at, a $2,400 level off of someone that I never met or talked to off of Instagram. So guys, there are people looking for this. This is the time where normally in MLM, MLM business during the holidays goes like this because they don't want to spend money on it. Guess where ours goes? Straight through the flipping roof, guys. People are looking to shop online right now. So I'm not going to make this into a big slideshow. I'm going to keep it really quick, but I do have a couple slides of stuff that I'm crushing it with. And once again, I'm not putting my link out. I'm not throwing out DubLi. I'm attracting people to where I'll show you a couple screenshots, but they're like, what are you doing? I don't even know what WUKAR is about, and I'll show you some of these things, but I have no idea what WUKAR is. I don't know. I want to be a part of it. Guys, that's what we want. You don't have to pitch it and sell it, So is this showing, John?
Yes,
can you
we've got your slideshow on screen.
So guys, I'm just going to give you a few quick examples. I'm not trying to, give you a crazy training, but guys, leverage what's going on right now. I put this up 7.3 to 9.9, and granted, it's going to vary depending on what stores you use. I get it, but think in your newsfeed. What are people talking about? What are people complaining about? I don't know about you, but I've seen a bunch of parents right now laughing, kind of joking about, gosh, my kid needs $200 cleats. What's up with that? Well, guess what, guys? We can get them cash back at Foot Locker. We can get them cash back at other places. So pay attention to what people are saying. From this one picture, guys, look at my emails. Cash back, I'm interested in this new business. What are you doing now? How does it work? What's this shopping thing about? I'm interested. How can I save money on school supplies? Guys, these are people that I have not had to reach out to that are all of a sudden saying, I want what you have. And all I'm doing is sharing what we already have, guys. Take the salesy MLM part out of it. People are saying, I know you're crazy. I want to learn. What's this thing about? I'm going to be posting some social media training in our Google community, but guys, I'm running a contest right now. Here's where I'm leveraging this. I'm saying, tell me your favorite place to shop online, and I'm picking one winner that I'm going to give them a year's voucher. But guess what, guys? Now I have 50 other people telling me where they like to shop. I don't know about you, but wouldn't you like people going, I like to shop here, I like to shop there? Awesome. Guess what my next marketing piece is going to be? It's going to be all tailored around what I know people already want. Guys, you're taking the guessing out of it. Don't be afraid to ask people what they like, what's going on in their everyday today business. So for me, I'll put this wording in the Google group, but guys, I'm running a contest. We have these vouchers, leverage them, whether giving them to your mom, here's a $99 voucher, mom. Guys, leverage it on Facebook. I'm doing a contest. All you have to do is tag a friend, and, I'm giving away $100, and you can see the wording. Below, tell me where your favorite place to shop is. I'm going to pick one winner to win a free subscription to the most powerful tool that I personally use to give you cash back online. So I'm telling them to tag a friend. That means I'm getting more eyes on my account. Well, guess what, guys? This girl won it, and she was so flipping excited. I can't believe. Guess where that excitement goes? Now she's telling other people about it. From me posting one picture, she's stoked, she's getting cash back, and now she's telling her friends. Someone else was going back and forth over Salad Shake is better than Vima, Herbalife is better than Beachbody, this and that. And I said, wow, I make money off of stuff from GNC, and so do my customers. Someone started laughing and said, ha ha, GNC residual? I said, yep. The conversation's longer, but that's the point. Guys, pay attention to these conversations that are happening on social media around you. Take yourself out of the equation. A lot of people are talking about stuff that we can help them with. So another thing, here's some more examples. Send me your link. I want to know what you're doing about cash back. Guys, if you're not taking part in our partner program and really leveraging that, we have a humongous tool. I mean, we can get hundreds and hundreds of customers into our organization. And this is all I put. I said, I want to help you with your nonprofit. If you guys are friends with me on Facebook, you'll know that about 20 people reached out to me on my thread saying, I have one, contact me, how can you help me? Guys, people don't know what you have unless you put it out there. And guess what? I've never put my link out there once. So these are just a couple other examples. I'm not going to turn this into a whole training, but if you are on this and you're like, well, I used to sell shakes, I used to be an MLM, think outside the box, guys. How can you help them now? You might not still be doing that traditional MLM, but what do you have in front of you now that you can be helping people? A few more examples. This is another one. Guys, I want this to be evergreen, so regardless of when you're going to hear this, Christmas is around the corner. It doesn't matter. Every single month we have a holiday. How can you leverage what's going on that month to build your DubLi business? Same thing, more testimonials, because I wanted you guys to know I wasn't just making this up. But Labor Days right now, once again, this is evergreen. I'm leveraging Labor Day currently. I found an image online and I'm using it. You can use whatever you want. Run a contest. I do want to say, though, guys, even if you're not going to Dubai, Dubai is awesome. What kind of company has their convention there? You should be leveraging that, leveraging future company conventions. I'm leveraging Apple, stuff like this, a couple more examples. But I do want to say, guys, bad reviews are golden opportunities. Regardless of what anyone's saying negative about DubLi, I do not care. At least they're talking about it. What I'm doing is I'm keeping my stride. I'm getting people in my organization fired up too, guys. Speed of the leader, speed of the pack. You could sit around and go back and forth on Facebook about my company is better than yours, or you could pull your big girl panties up and run with it and take that as free advertising. People do not like people. That's just what happens. It's okay. My last example is, guys, Angry Birds is one of the most top-grossing, biggest, hugest apps there is, period, point blank. Whether you like it or not, there are pages and pages, thousands of bad reviews. Guess what? Everyone is going to say something bad. People like Apple versus PC. I like Samsung versus iPhone. It doesn't matter. Guys, don't try to win over the haters. You're not the jackass whisperer. And you know what? I'm leveraging all of this quote-unquote bad publicity. I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. But I'm using all of this to my advantage because if you ask me, it's freaking awesome. People, I have not spent any money on advertising. I have not put one link out. I have not even had to make any outbound calls. And I'm about to hit one of the highest ranks in the company for doing just that. I don't know about you. If you guys don't want to create your own images or you don't like Instagram, hire an assistant, guys, because people love this. Visual and mobile marketing is huge right now, and we have like the golden ticket in our hand. It's insane.
Can I put my big girl panties on as well then?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
Now, you know, guys, Christian.
Turn it around, Tarlise. It's facing the wrong way. We need to see that. We need to see that picture.
No, you know, guys. Point of the matter is, and I'll shut up after this, but guys, don't let other people that have no idea what they're talking about. You have people that have made, you know, a great amount of income, that have financial background, that know it, that have done their due diligence. Let them worry about all that stuff, and let's just run, because if you're worried about it, it goes down to the rest of your organization. If you're excited and happy and you're, you know, blazing the trails and bringing people into your business, it's contagious. I mean, I don't know if you guys pay attention to Jason Cardamone, but he's like, rah! And you can't help but be excited. So let's turn this into something positive, guys. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, it is something positive, and every, what was the theory of Isaac Newton? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. we're making noise, and without even trying, which I think is the point. I mean, really, this has been like stupidly easy. Like, I've got people who couldn't sell, let's just say, a variety of other things. They've struggled in the home-based business profession for years, and yet here they are. Making multiple sales of something worth much more in terms of a dollar exchange value, and they're doing it like almost effortlessly. So I'm like, we are onto something here. Now, if we know it, certainly our detractors, our critics, are going to know it, and they're going to see if they can derail whatever they can. But I'm going to move on to somebody who I've known for over a decade. Okay, so Professor John and I have known each other for 24 hours. This other guy here, I've known for 10 years. We've made millions together. We've done separate things. We've done the same things. We're in a couple of businesses together now, and most recently here with WUKAR and DubLi, and that's, of course, Mr. Tony Rush from Dothan, Alabama, who's currently somewhere in Georgia, I think. So, Tony, here's what I think everybody wants to know, because you are a legend in your own right. What are you doing right now in your vast experience of a week and a half into this deal? You're moments away from being a sales director, which, as Tarly's already mentioned, is one of the highest levels in the comp plan. So I know you'll be there momentarily, as will Tarly's. But are you doing a lot of direct response marketing on this? Are you how are you getting so big so fast with this?
Hey man, thanks for having me on. It's an illustrious group of people that I'm on with, so it's nice to be in such highly regarded company. Man, this thing is unlike anything I've ever seen. And just for those of you who don't know me, I've been in the home business industry for a long time. Currently doing extremely well in another home business, and a business that I've made a couple $1 million in the last 2 years. And I don't sign up at anything. I just don't. I've said no to everything. I've had everything in the world come across my desk, or people saying, "Hey, you need to look at this," and I would say, "No, I don't." I don't. And I've been the guy who's extremely focused. I'm blinders on, head down, and go to work. And that has been a huge factor in getting monster results. So when I got started in DubLi, needless to say, it created quite a ripple effect among those who knew me, because Tony never joins anything. So I'm not a corporate guy. I don't know how to weigh out SEC stuff, and I'm a marketer. But when I looked at DubLi, there was a couple things that stood out for me that just was so different than everything else out there. Ironically, it's a funny thing about our industry. The customer and product side of a company tends to be the least interesting part of what an entrepreneur looks at. In some companies, it's almost like having customers and doing retail sales of products is almost a necessary evil. What they really want is, we got to have that stuff to keep the regulators happy, but let's really talk about the pay plan. And what I love about DubLi is that my understanding is, I think 300 to 1 right now, 300 customers for every one person participating in the pay plan, which anybody that knows anything about regulatory agencies, particularly in the United States, will tell you that is exactly what regulators and attorneys general love to see. They want to see that the company is succeeding and growing based on actual value to the end consumer. And it's not just, a bunch of people jumping in and buying products so they can play in the pay plan. So that was really, really exciting to me. And then the fact that I had a really good customer experience. John Lavinia told me about this, and I downloaded the toolbar. And not to get too, I'm sort of preaching to the choir because a lot of us already know this stuff, but there's been a lot of, cash back and rewards membership programs over the years, and they all suffer from the same two problems. And that is, number one, it's really, really difficult to get people to change stores. if you buy your makeup at Ulta or Sephora, and you open the rewards brochure and it looks like now you got to buy your makeup at, Georgette's makeup store or something. Nobody switches stores, right? Or the other thing is you forget that you're in a rewards program and you go buy where you normally buy. And so I had just a fantastic customer experience. I needed to buy a large screen television last week, and because it was right after John and I had talked, I completely forgot about DubLi, forgot about the rewards program. I did what everybody does. I forgot I was in a rewards program. And I went over to bestbuy.com, and sure enough, the toolbar worked its magic. I got like $62 cash back. And $62 is not going to change my life, but man, when I saw that thing work, my vision for what DubLi is and what's possible just became a million times bigger. And I realized that there's a lot more here than just an opportunity to make some money on the pay plan side. It's a massive, massive opportunity that we have here. So, I don't bring a lot to the table in terms of how to analyze companies in terms of their public stock offerings and SEC stuff. I'm more of a marketer than anything. But if I didn't think that this was an 8-figure income for me in the next 2 to 3 years, I wouldn't be here. This is quite honestly the most unique thing that I have ever seen in the home business industry. And I've had the good fortune to be in 2 things before that just exploded, where the timing was right, and it feels that way. Things are starting to move very fast, and there's this boiling. You can sense it. It's kind of like that perfect storm. You look around, you see people who've never made money doing anything, and they're making TLA sales right and left like clockwork. You see a company who's got an idea, whose time has come. You see market conditions in a way that everything's just reaching a boiling point. So as exciting as everything has been lately, it's nothing compared to what's about to happen. And like I said, I've had the good fortune to be in the right place at the right time a couple of times, and it's very exciting to see that everything that's going on right now feels that same way. So there's never been a better time to be involved in DubLi. The best thing you can give people who want to be negative and critical is just ignoring them. Just pat them on the head and smile and say, "Aren't you cute?" and go along about your way, because we've got bigger things to do than to deal with people who they get all their emotional payoff from trying to drag down productive people. So we're all bigger than that. My advice, I would just echo what John said. If you got somebody that wants to engage you and wants to get in a debate with you, the best thing you can give them is your silence, and just move along. We got bigger things to tend to than worrying about the opinions of small people. So, John, that's what I've got. I got Jonathan Caster with me, by the way. He drove down to Atlanta to have some Mexican food with me and Jessica and talk DubLi. So we're actually sitting at the Phipps Plaza Mall, where my wife is currently inside spending money like a drunken sailor.
I too know how to say no to everything, and I'm here.
Right on. Well, cool. Hey, John, thanks for having us out. Good to see you guys, and I'll hand the call back over to you, John.
Awesome. Thank you. Just looking at obviously the relationships that are coming together here, and I've known you forever, Tony. Jonathan Case is in the house, Matt Trainer, Professor John Taylor, the wonderful Tarlise, and of course Christian Henneke. All I can say is thank you, guys. And to wrap up with the point that Tony was just making, right now we've got people doing our marketing for us. In a private conversation with Tony, I shared with him that I'm looking into some nice flower arrangements for some of our haters online, because they are just helping me make sales left and right. I haven't said a friggin' word. The next thing you know, there's all this attention coming to WUKAR, myself, Tony, Christian, etc. Because you know what, people are attracted to winners, aren't they? I mean, just think about this. People are attracted to winners. I haven't said one friggin' word about DubLi on the web, on Facebook or whatever. I posted one picture of the Burj Khalifa. It's like, hey, has anybody ever been to this building? I like architecture, right? I'm going to go see this building in a couple weeks, right? And so people got a little bit kibitzing over that. Oh, what do you think? Oh, is this a new venture or something? Next thing you know, people are hitting me, hey, give me more information, right? While the gripers can gripe, they are advertising for it. So do not engage, okay? Just sell. That's it. Now is the time to sell. Put your organization together. You're giving people a wonderful gift. Okay? Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I'm really friggin' busy. I told Christian 2 weeks ago when I got the phone call, here's your plane ticket, come to San Diego. I was like, bro, you know how busy I am? I got 4 businesses running here. I don't have time. What am I going? I got to sign NDAs and stuff, right? Thank God. I said, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning in San Diego. Thank God. So,
hey, John.
here's the challenge. Put 1,000 people on your customer list before Black Friday. There's your challenge. Anybody else want to wrap up today?
Hey, John. By the way, 1-800-Flowers right now, or 1-800-Floral, it's 19% cash back. So if you want to send your haters some flowers.
Their bouquet just got bigger. Thank you. Right.
And I want to say one thing before I go.
Right.
Listen, my brother is a mathematician. He's ex-military. He's a mathematician. He's as straight-laced as you can get. He won't do anything with anybody. All I did was say to him, have a look at this toolbar. He said, you mean I can get cash back on stuff? Yeah, he said, well, I spend more money a year, or even less than a year, than being a TLA. So what am I worried about? He said, it's a no-brainer. I said, well, do the math. You're a mathematician. He's also got 260 franchise schools in the UK and 15,000 students. So I said to him, he said, well, how do I do this? He said, I said, just tell your managers to tell the kids to go and get cash back for their parents and all their school stuff, which is what Delise was saying. It's not a big deal. And he's done that. And 2 days later, he's saying to me, thanks, John, for introducing me to that. I've got no clue how it works. I've got no idea what a TLA is, but hey, let's go and do it.
That's it. Sign me up. All right, any other closing comments? Matt, Christian?
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing. Every time I've ever had success in my life, and I've had very public, big success in a lot of businesses. You know, this is actually the first time I've really sunken my teeth into a network marketing company. But I've had huge success in real estate, stock market, even owning car lots. And every single time I started to have big success and started getting a lot of public exposure, every time, I just had a whole lot of haters prop up and say, you know, Matt Trainer does this, or he does that, whatever. And every time I love it, because it actually gets more exposure, because the people that can actually see past that and critically think that there's probably another side to the story, they're just doing their advertising for us, just like John said. And I think it's awesome, because that shows me that we're onto something big, because every big success I've ever had in my life had exactly the same thing happen. And this is happening much faster and much bigger than it's ever happened to me before. So it makes me excited. So I hope that makes you guys excited as well.
Awesome stuff. Words of wisdom right there. Christian, you complete?
Just two seconds. Just dig in, guys. Go for it. Don't stick your toe in the water. Go for it. The people that are succeeding that you see here are not timid. They go for it. It's all or nothing. So I would encourage you to jump in and commit and really, you know, all out massive action. Massive action.
Oh, did you hear that echo when he said massive action? That was like massive action, action, action.
That was really cool.
That's it. We got to end right there. We can't even say another word. If you're going to Dubai, make sure you got your tickets. They're in your back office. Okay. Christian also posted a video on that last night. Check the WUKAR group. We'll see everybody on the inside, and hopefully we'll see you in Dubai as well. All right. Have a great day, everyone.